This is Awkward Occurrence, Awkward Entertainment. So today we're going to be talking about clones. So clones and reality shifting. What's real and what's not when it comes to reality shifting and leaving clones of yourself in charge of your body while you supposedly are in some other dimension you made up. So, so we're gonna listen to some psychobabble by some other girl. I guess this is their religious text. Their religious text is what they believe is going on when they do these things. And spoiler alert, no one can dream or so-called astral travel or lucid dream for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 hours or days. I don't think you can dream past 10 seconds, 10 seconds or less. Let's get into it. Let's get into this.
Friends with the monsters under my bed. Get along with the voices inside of my head.
Okay, so this is their religious text. This is looking like a religious cult. That's how I think of this shifting reality stuff. Let's read this. They work with conscious, they work with higher conscious, new age, spirituality, old mysticism, old beliefs from 1500 years ago or more. Since consciousness is just your awareness of reality, a clone is a version of you that has their own conscience. Right, let's continue. It will only make sense that we are all clones, seeing as we go through multiple shifts per minute. Now I've heard a few people on TikTok. It's mostly females who get into this. I heard a few people on TikTok say that multiple shifts per minute. With each decision and assumption we make, our perception of reality shifts. Because a clone is a version of you that had their own consciousness. What craziness is this? / awareness of reality. And you have your own consciousness, awareness of reality. It's safe to say that they are you and are an extension of your soul. That word soul drives this into a religious realm. They just drive this into a religious realm. Spiritual religious realm. And we put aside your high science, and they try to use science to back this up. Quantum anything. Quantum. Like quantum anything is not you lucid dreaming. Let's continue. If we put aside our higher self for a second, your soul is the essence of these clones. Still doesn't make sense as we continue to read on. In the diagram provided, not my own diagram, these bodies that are extending from the soul are actually clones and are infinite versions of them, since there are infinite realities, and they get more into the science part of their belief. The stuff they believe is theories, is just lies and law, not even law. Everything you read about quantum and people want to quantum jump, and you read from science, is all theories. They say it's theories. When they talk, they say this is a theory, mean not proven. This is just some more of their religious belief, or their belief. It doesn't take months. I'm starting at the top. It said it doesn't take months or years to shift unless you subconsciously believe it. Yeah. No one shifts. No one shifts. People report they just get a tingling feeling or they become a little schizophrenic. They report they hear voices at times. Or someone may say their name at an unsuspected time. They report like crazy things from what crazy mental schizophrenia people say. Let's continue. And the people who make videos on YouTube or TikTok, some of them actually don't have any symptoms. They'll just make a video for views. But let's continue. Okay, they aren't clones. They are you, and they're part of your consciousness staying here. It doesn't make sense. Shifting isn't shifting isn't a lucid dream. Yes, there is a method where you have to lucid dream, but it is. Yes, there is a method you have to lucid dream, but it isn't lucid dreaming. But hey, there's a method you can use to the shift called lucid dreaming. And there's a method you can use called hypnosis when you count backwards from 100. And a bunch of other the same methods. They just repackage witchcraft and try to make it fun for kids or fun for atheists. And don't want to read anything else on this. Scripting romantic relationships isn't wrong. Scripting, like you're having sex with demons when you script romantic relationships. Shifting is the subconscious mind. There is no subconscious mind. Let's just say unconscious, because you sleep when you're shifting. You don't shift when you're awake. Your eyes may be open. Someone say, I shift when I'm awake, but they're still sleeping. You shift when you're sleeping, and you only dream for a couple of seconds. I haven't heard of an astral traveler dreaming for seven hours or 7 days. When people claim on TikTok, all these girls claim they shifted for 7 days. And a clone took over my body. And this clone, what they say is a subconscious mind using all 5 senses. It almost sounds like demonic possession. Almost sounds like demonic possession, the way they describe clones. Let me get that video back. Alright, we're going to go back over this.
That I'm friends with the monsters. Hey guys, it's Colin, and welcome to another video.
Yeah, almost sound like demonic possession. Well, let's get into this YouTuber who talks about clones, and I'll pick it up after that. She's going to talk about clones.
Hey guys, it's Colin, and welcome to another video. And if you're new here, welcome to my channel. Today we're going to be talking all about clones because people seem to overcomplicate them and think too hard about them, and they think there's something crazy when they're really not. So I'm just gonna explain that and clear up confusion. Because basically clones are, okay, when you shift, you're always in this reality, even if you shift. You're always in your OR, your original reality, like this current reality. That's your original reality.
She said when you shift, you're always in this reality, so you're always in the awakened state, in a sleep state. The only way you can shift, so-called shift, astral travel, lucid dream, is when you're falling asleep, you're going into that sleep-awake mode feeling. You start doing affirmations, or you start chanting, you start doing this voodoo stuff. You start doing imagination stuff in your head, manifestation, imagination crap. Let's continue. Let's continue with what she's saying about clones.
You're always in this, but you're in it as a clone when you...
So parasomnia, lucid dreaming, astral travel, which is the same as shifting, so-called shifting. The lie about shifting is you don't go to no Hogwarts for 8 hours. You can't sustain a dream for 8 hours. You can sleep for 8 hours to 7 hours, 6 hours, but you can't dream for that long. So a lot of these people don't have long dreams. This come in like very small glimpses. But parasomnia is a symptom of astral travel and shifting and lucid dreaming. What exactly is parasomnia? It's a disorder, a sleep disorder that causes abnormal. So abnormal would be paranormal. Uh, Root word paranormal, prefix abnormal. But paranormal behavior while sleeping. The behavior can occur during any stage of sleep, including the transition from wakefulness to sleeping and vice versa. If you have parasomnia, you might move around, talk, or do unusual things during sleep, like sleepwalking or eating in your sleep, or sleep paralysis, a part of that. Let's continue.
Leave part of your consciousness, or you take most of your consciousness.
Okay, this is her talking about the consciousness from you going to your clone, so your clone can move around while you are so-called dreaming. It's crazy, right? So let's listen to her talk.
Consciousness to go to your DR. So, basically, your clone, it has like a...
And DR is designated or desired reality. Hypnagogic, let's just say hallucinations. This is another symptom of astral travel, reality shifting. Even if you don't shift, or you lucid dream about something terrible like nightmares and night terrors is another symptom of astral travel, or parasomnia, however it's pronounced. So you have abnormal perceptions that occur, or hallucinations that occur while falling asleep. You may see things while falling asleep, such as shadows. You may see things when you're awakening and you can't move. You may see shadows at the foot of your bed or standing over you. That's all symptoms. Those are demons.
Slab? Piece, or whatever, of your consciousness.
Now what is this? Okay, common sleep disorder. Nightmares are often a result of what's going on and changing. Now, they lie when they say this is from some health website. They work with people with parasomnia. At the bottom, nightmares are often a result of what is going on in a changing life. What is going on in your changing life. Which is not true. Everyone who tries astral travel, they see demons. The people who are very spiritual, they don't prefer to them as demons. They don't refer to them as demons. They call them dark entities. They may say demon, but they don't relate it to the Bible. They have their own lingo to explain why everyone sees these dark shadows or these monsters when you lucid dream or reality shift or astral travel. They have their own set of beliefs. They really do, and it doesn't make any sense. It doesn't. It's like saying nightmares come from a change in their life. Like, come on. Yeah, if you're sinning a lot, I can understand all that sin or doing all this witchcraft, hocus pocus stuff. That's a change in your life.
And it does exactly what you would do in your daily life. So, like, today, you're like, oh, I'm gonna decide to do this, I'm gonna decide to do that. It's gonna do everything that you would do if you were in the moment. Like, it'll think exactly like you, so you don't have to worry about it doing anything bad, because clones aren't bad. They're just your consciousness, like, just a mini version of you. They're literally you, but they're just in this reality covering for when you're gone in your DR. That's literally all they are. Like,
Now you see the picture with a lot of possessed girls. She says clones are literally you. They're covering for you when you're gone in your dream state. So if you're gone in your dream state for 4 or 5 hours, which you can't dream for 4 or 5 hours. So when you're gone in your dream state, these so-called clones come in and take over your body and do your every daily test and do your chores and do whatever gotta be done. Does that sound like sanity? Does that sound like sound logic? That this so-called subconscious is going to come take over, and the subconscious comes from here and it comes from there, or it may come from here, because they're not too sure what goes on when a clone take over. I've heard two different answers from two different YouTubers about clones, what clones are and their function. But what they do agree on is something to take over your body while you're sleeping or while you're dreaming. And that can be dangerous, so that can qualify as some type of possession. But once again, you can't reality shift. You can't go to no Hogwarts for 7 days, 7 hours, when you only can dream maybe 10 seconds. You can only dream like 10 seconds.
You can script for your clone to do things?
Okay, let's go through her testimony one more time. Let's go through her. I think she just made that video for views because she has a couple thousand subscribers. So a lot of these reality shifters only make video for views. Some of them do practice other forms of witchcraft, but mostly for views.
But I'm friends with the monsters. Yeah. It's basically clones are... Okay, when you shift, you're always in this reality, even if you shift. Like, you're always in your OR, your original reality, like your current... Like, this current reality, that's your original reality. You're always in this, but you're in it as a clone when you leave part of your consciousness, or you take most of your consciousness to go to your DR. So, basically, your clone, it has like a little teeny piece, or whatever, of your consciousness, and it does exactly what you would do in your daily life. So, like, today, you're like, oh, I'm gonna decide to do this, I'm gonna decide to do that. It's gonna do everything that you would do if you were in the moment. Like, it'll think exactly like you, so you don't have to worry about it doing anything bad, because clones aren't bad. They're just your consciousness, like, just a mini version of you. They're literally you, but they're just in this reality covering for when you're gone in your DR.
So that is in this reality covering for you when you're gone in your DR. DR is desired reality. Desired reality is when you think about where you want to go in your dreams, in your lucid dream. Astral travel is another form of lucid dream so far. I've heard people say I went to some magical place in the astral travel. Like, I met my dead loved one in the astral travel. And when I was flying in my astral travel, I was a frog. And when I landed in water, a pond of water, that's when my dad came up on me. That's totally made up place. That's a totally made up place. I thought astral traveling was when you leave your body and you can float around your neighborhood, and you had a cord attached to you. You can float around your neighborhood. Maybe that cord can go 1,000 miles. You can float 1,000 miles. Not fictional places in your head. A lot of people go to fictional places when they astral travel. How's that astral traveling? There's no alternative universe. There's no spiritual realm where you're going to see old people and talk to old people. It's just not. It's called dreaming. And most of the time, it's an illusion by the devil. Which is why you have sleep paralysis. And you see things in sleep paralysis. Or see things before you fall asleep. Let's just continue. I'm in this out. So was it parasomnia? So para, P-A-R-A is the same as P-A-R-A normal, paranormal. Parasomnia is supernatural or abnormal. So when we think of paranormal, we think of supernatural. So parasomnia is supernatural. And para can also mean abnormal, but abnormal, supernatural. Alright. Let's get out of here, people. It's been Awkward Occurrence or Awkward Entertainment, and I will see you in the next video.